here we are on the eve of Memorial Day weekend.
That means it's time for our Lance Schwartz to highlight one of Nebraska's finest in tonight's episode of Lance's Journal. And here's Lance now to tell us about his very special guest. Lance?
All right, thanks guys. Bill Schock was born in Falls City, Nebraska on August the 6th, 1918. He graduated from Falls City High School in 1936, and he got a journalism degree from UNL in 1940. Bill was 22 years old when he volunteered for the draft and headed off to serve his country during World War II. Long before there was a Lance's Journal, there was the Falls City Journal. It was way back in the 70s, and my first job ever was delivering newspapers, and my first boss ever was a great American hero. Bill Schock started serving his country in 1941.
We were just playing soldier then for about the first 10 months. And then on Pearl Harbor Day, we became soldiers.
Woo, it got real in a hurry, didn't it?
And a week later then, we were on the troop trains. I think they'd hauled Civil War soldiers.
Bill soon became a B-17 bomber pilot.
On October the 8th of 1943, I made my first combat raid.
8 months and 24 missions later, Bill and his crew went on a bombing run to Marienburg, East Prussia in April of '44.
We hit the target real good, and they said, according to Historical Society, it was one of the best bomb drops in the entire war.
On the way back to England, Bill's bomber sustained a direct hit from a flak battery.
It started a heck of a fire. So I'd seen too many explode, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. So I bailed the crew out, and we parachuted into Denmark.
Bill and what was left of his crew became German prisoners of war. That was just hell on earth, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Bill endured 2 days of intense interrogation.
I remembered that back when they were briefings on prisoner of war, what you should do is keep your ears and your eyes and your bowels open and your mouth shut.
Bill says his sense of humor and his faith helped him survive 13 long months as a POW.
The back of your thoughts was looking at the wall. You didn't have anything else to do, look at the wall and wonder, am I going to be alive tomorrow?
Fortunately, World War II ended in September of 1945, and Captain Schock headed back to Falls City, a hero.
He's one of the greatest men I've ever met.
Bob Ferguson echoes the thoughts of many Falls Cityans. I have a lot of respect for you, and I really appreciate you for all of your service for our country, and it has been a pleasure knowing you.
Thank you, Lance, and thank you for giving me the time to tell my story.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Bill started working at the Falls City Journal in 1946, and you know what? Almost 7 decades later, this 95-year-old man that I admire so much is still working at the Falls City Journal. Even though he's handed off many of his duties to his son and grandson, 95-year-old Bill Schock still reports to work every day. And I got to tell you, I just admire him so much, and I can't imagine anyone in Falls City that is more revered than this great man.
And he's so open about his story too, and he's so willing to tell it and let everybody know. But 13 months in a camp like that, that's...
Yes, he is so willing to tell it. He actually even wrote a book about it.
And to still be working at 95 years old? That's incredible,
He's
too.
a go-getter.
Still going after it.
And I'd like to wish him and all the veterans a very special Memorial Day weekend. Thank you for your service.
All right, thanks a lot, Lance. Appreciate it.
You bet.
We'll update your forecast next.